Time has drastically changed the modern world of technology in terms of shapes and function in order to offer outcomes more quickly. While the PC continues to battle for relevance in the face of the smartphone, history has been made today. What do you think? Researchers at the University of Michigan have created the world's tiniest computer, measuring just 0.3 millimeters on each side in the United States. This device is about the size of a grain of rice. This device does not operate in the same way as a regular desktop computer. To know more, keep watching the video till the end. A new record has been set. A Michigan-based research team has created the world's tiniest computer. Its length is only 0.3 millimeters. In comparison, a grain of rice appears enormous. It was created as part of a geeky competition between IBM and University of Michigan engineers. They keep outdoing one another in terms of constructing the world's smallest computer. The question now is whether or not the newly built chip qualifies as a full-fledged computer. The answer to this query, as well as all other intriguing details regarding Michigan's new revolutionary mini-computer, is now available. The University of Michigan held the world record for the smallest computer from 2014 to early 2018. The Michigan Micro Mote, as it was known, was only 2 by 2 by 4 millimeters in size, but was fully functioning. Just to emphasize how small it is, almost 150 of these little computers could fit in a thimble. It could store its code and data even if it wasn't connected to electricity. According to a news release from the University of Michigan, the Michigan Micro Mote is a full autonomous computer system. The data entered into the computer system must be able to be recorded. It must also have the ability to process and store them and make decisions about what to do next. The mini computer is built in stacked layers that can communicate with each other. In addition, it contains a solar cell that supplies it with 20 nanowatts and can run continuously just by capturing the ambient light. In standby mode, the device consumes about 1 million times less power than a conventional cell phone, and the mini computer didn't have to wait long to be used in various practical areas. The Michigan research team was flooded with inquiries. Not only snail specialists were interested, but also medical experts. It must also be capable of processing and storing them, as well as making judgments about what to do next. The mini computer is made up of multiple layers that can connect with another. It also has a solar cell that provides 20 nanowatts of power and can run constantly solely by capturing ambient light. The device consumes around 1 million times less power in standby mode than a traditional cell phone, and the microcomputer didn't have to wait long to be put to work in a variety of applications. The University of Michigan study team was inundated with requests. Not just snail experts, but also medical professionals were intrigued. Injectable sensor systems that transmit directly from the human body, for example, have previously been developed on the basis of the mini computer. However, IBM answered in February 2018. The diameter is barely 1 by 1 millimeter, but there are hundreds of thousands of transistors or electronic semiconductor elements in this device. Because the IBM mini calculator is the size of a rough grain of salt, it is glaringly little. However, its performance is amazing for its size, equivalent to that of an old PC from the 1990s. But hey, back then desktop computers were not only massive, but also awkward and heavy. The advancements over time have been very remarkable. Its production, according to IBM developers, should cost less than 10 euros. It's important to IBM, and they have great plans for it. It may be integrated into a wide range of everyday consumer goods, making them counterfeit-proof. The University of Michigan, on the other hand, has fought back once more. In contrast to a grain of rice, their newly designed computer has an edge length of only 0.3 millimeters and appears to be a dwarf. Integrated processors, photovoltaics, and radio transmitters and receivers are also on the list. It can translate temperatures into intervals of time. It can determine the temperature to be within 0.1 degrees Celsius by comparing it to a fixed time interval. And you have no idea what I'm talking about. The medical industry would be an excellent application for a mini computer. It could, for example, detect cancers by measuring temperature variations in cell groups. The system is extremely adaptable, and it might be used for a variety of applications. Oncology research could benefit from this device. We can implant the temperature sensor into a mouse where cancer cells are growing, since it is small and biocompatible, said Gary Luker, a UM professor of radiology and biomedical engineering. We're utilizing this temperature sensor to see if we can use difference in temperature within a tumor versus normal tissue to identify whether therapy is successful or not. According to various research, cancer tumors exhibit higher temperatures than normal tissue. Of course, each of these must be thoroughly tested. But let's get back to the computer since there's something strange to report. Experts are divided on whether the IBM development and the new product from Michigan can even be classified as mini computers. They lose their prior programming and data as soon as they lose power, unlike the Michigan Micro Mote. A specialist in electrical engineering, David Blah, has this to say: "We're not sure if this can be classified as computers. Whether they genuinely provide the bare minimal capability required is a question of interpretation." Even while Luker's experiments continue, Blah, Sylvester, and Phillips are excited to see what applications their latest microcomputer may find. When we first designed our millimeter system, we had no idea how many applications it would have. However, after we published it, we began receiving dozens upon dozens of inquiries, Blah remarked. The technical brilliance of the Michigan team is nothing short of astonishing, and the potential of moats is interesting. Working at this scale, where power management is so complex, moats must consume so little energy that it's scarcely measurable. Even with sophisticated instruments, it is exceedingly difficult. The Micro Mote is a result of a dedicated research team pushing the frontiers of what is feasible for many years. However, some people are concerned about how moats will be used in our world. Both good and negative results are possible with seemingly all technologies, from a hammer to a website. Most of the time, both good and negative applications of technology coexist. When it comes to moats, privacy groups worry about undetectable surveillance while doctors wait for clinical applications that will help them better monitor their patients. The M3 is ready for production, and the faculty and staff are already planning to make even smaller computers, which they refer to as smart dust. There's no reason why you can't keep pushing that in the future. It's impossible to get to 100 microns per side. Then you'll be able to place chips inside cells, Dennis Sylvester, as electrical engineering and computer science professor at the University of Michigan, said. It's easy to see it as, bringing science fiction to life. These same moats, which can be dropped by thousands from an airplane, would have weighed several tons and take up a big room only a few decades ago. It's hard to believe we've arrived at this moment. Nevertheless, Moore's law, unrelenting incrementalism, and the passage of time have brought us to this point. However, one thing is clear: the rivalry between the two rivals in the United States is continuously spawning new breakthroughs and technologies that could sooner or later greatly assist us in our daily lives. More groundbreaking micro technologies can be found on our channel, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel so you won't miss a new video. Also, watch the 2 videos that are on your screen, because I'm sure you'll love them. With that, I'll see you in the next video.